Well, good day, Tubes. How's she going? Pretty good here. Man, I'm glad already getting bitten. I'm glad I put these plywoods on here, made a little roof, because under here we've got another rear end for Boris. There, if you've never seen in one of these things, that's the shifter. And there's the safety lock out there for your starting. That's kind of cool. That's the little safety button. So when you got it in gear, when it locks in, this thing won't go, right? Well, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's not so good. Bit grimy. Probably won't use this one. I'll probably use the bone that's on Boris still. But it should be a good part to clean up and repaint, perhaps. Yeah, nice. Okay, we'll just put that down here for a minute. Oh yes, and there's the gasket for it. Ow, bite me on the side of the head even. That's why I haven't really been doing much work out here, because these bloody mosquitoes have just been vicious this year. Just kind of don't really want to be out here, you know, so but we'll try to bear with it. I'm just going to have a little look at this thing tonight. And this is from an 8N tractor. What year? I don't know. I guess Boris will now have to be mismatched. But I honestly 100% don't know if it was perfectly matched anyways. So let's just get this pushed off of here. I don't think I'm going to unload this tonight. I just kind of want to have a little bit better look at it. But no, I'm glad I had this little plywood roof thingy made here, because holy smokes, was it ever raining the other night? Last night too, hammered with rain, like hammered with rain. But anyways, here's an old chunk of wood. Not too straight now, but anyways. So under this tarp now, try to keep the dirt off it too, even though there's lots of dirt on it. This thing has had many colors, so I don't know what I'm gonna actually do yet. I'd like to actually I'd like to actually get this mounted on Boris just to make sure everything works. But you know, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that or not. It seems to spin anyways. Oh, where are you going? Ooh, I see two bees here. I don't really like that too much. Hopefully they haven't tried to build a nest in here somewhere. Anyways, so we got an input shaft on this thing. This thing is like cast iron, so it's super heavy. And transmission, looks like that still works, but this doesn't have a whole lot of wear on the pedals, which I'm thinking is a good thing. Because the pedal, the more wear you got there, the more it's been driven, right? But everything's looking good inside. Let's get up here and have a look, and I'll show you kind of what failed on Boris. Yeah. So let me just demount you here. Okay, so we're ripping along and on Boris there, and these transmissions are rated for like a 25 horse maximum kind of thing. So Boris was 100 horse we were throwing at it. It's quite a lot. But what let go, I believe, is this housing in here. Get you in a bit closer here. That housing, I think, from the inertia of that shaft going so fast, because I was in high range on that Sherman, and then that sends, well, the Sherman kind of sits, you replace this input shaft here, and there's another shaft with the Sherman that goes into the engine, so you dial up the speed there, and then you're into fourth gear here. So it really is going, you know. So I think this was spinning too fast, and the rotational mass, we'll call it, kind of fractured this little cast iron bearing housing here, and I think it fractured, which let the bearing go kind of all over the place, and then this whole thing just kind of weird, because it was weird. It went, you know, like something spun, like this thing spun way out of control kind of thing. But anyways, but then we lost our I'm trying to figure out why. Oh, we broke this, that's why. That's right, I remember now. That's why we lost our hydraulics, because the, let me think here now. That piece, this joins into another shaft down below that's running off of these gears, which should turn your hydraulic pump, which is this big box down here. That's your hydraulic pump. And once that kind of grenaded, it actually blew this thing apart. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, this whole thing broke underneath there, so not too good. Not too good. But look at the size of the gears back here for the rear end. There's massive, huge. I don't know if I can spin that too well. Massive, huge gears back there, aren't they? Oh man. But this thing isn't, of course, brand new, but it's in pretty good shape, so hopefully she'll still work. But the oil looks pretty good down there still. Of course, there's your dipstick. You know, it's kind of low, bud, but that's okay. We'll fix her up. Takes a lot of oil in this thing. But it has been sitting in the muck for a while. Like you can see, there's a, this is supposed to be a drain plug there, I think. There's a drain plug there, and there should be a small one somewhere here too. Nope. Right there maybe. I don't really remember now. But yeah, so it's a big project, and like I say, this thing, it's had many different colors, which is interesting. It looks like some original red, unless it's rust color, and then some gray. I see some green and some yellow. So, I mean, this is going to need a lot of work, and I am so swamped right now with other business, we'll say, that I don't know when I'm going to actually get into this thing here, but yeah, I've got Boris all stripped down though. I've got the fenders off them, and what else did I take off? The fuel tank. I took that guy off. What else? I took a bunch of things off. Well, of course we got the top covers off here just to see what happened as well. But yeah, so we got some work to do, but I'd really, like I say, like to get it hooked on first, just to see, make sure it's gonna work, you know, and go from there. But now this didn't come with any running boards on it, so I'll have to reuse those, I guess, too. There's supposed to be running boards on these. I don't know why they took them off, but oh, totally gonna have to mess with that too. They looks like they just use a torch to cut the bolts off of here. Yeah, well, one's still plugged anyways. The rest of them are pretty good. That might just hammer right out, I don't know. That'll need a bit of work though. Fun stuff. And then I'll have to oh man, this is a big job. I'll have to get the Boris split, get the rear end off of it with the tires on it, and roll it out to where I can, and strip the tires off it and put it on these, and then hook this guy back up, and hopefully all is well. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, seems like everything works though. We roughly tested the brakes too, and they seem to work, so but let's try pushing this side. Yeah, it seems to spin. Yeah, they seem to lock on pretty good. This side's maybe not as good, but they seem to be locking on. So that must have, I'm trying to think what the heck happened to the, because I know this guy here was like, so something was in there grenading on the inside of this. This shaft broke too, about where this weld is roughly, which was interesting because that's a pretty darn thick shaft. And this is spline, so you can see the spline here. There's a spline on here too, and that's the shaft that goes all the way through the transmission and all the gears, which I didn't want to get into tearing that all apart, because I could have just got a transmission and redone it, you know, but I thought no, or sorry, could have just got this, but then yeah, this shaft was screwed too, so I need that shaft anyway. So I would have needed this assembly for the 3-point hitch pump and stuff, and the shaft that there's a little short shaft here too that goes through with a spline on it like this that goes all the way through, and it sheared that off right inside. That shaft is 1.5 inches too. It's huge, and it just sheared it. Twink. So maybe the shaft let go first, maybe this let go first, maybe the bearing housing there's a big bearing right in behind here that's on that shaft, maybe it let go. I don't really know, but all I remember hearing was like zoom, bang, 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 and it's like, oh man, that was not good. But at least we weren't too far from home, so that was good. But and we're definitely gonna have to get this thing a good cleaning too. I'd like to get some covers put on here. Now this is, let me think now, that's your transmission. This is where your seat and stuff is, so we're actually sitting on the seat, and then this is where your hydraulic cylinder is that, you know, attaches back to the back here and stuff. And yeah, and that lifts, so it sends fluid, pumps fluid up this tube up through here into that mechanism on the top. So when you do your arm up here, it's allowing fluid to come up through and lifts your arms up on the back. We're just gonna not worry about having 3-point hitch on it, but it's like, yeah, I don't know if I like that idea. So, but yeah, it smells kind of really greasy, so that's kind of a good thing, I guess. Hopefully everything up there is all good. I don't really know how all these shift things work. And that's like into a gear, I guess, there, so that should be locked up now. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, there's neutral again. That should roll now. Oh, maybe I'm just too weak. Yeah, so they're all spinning there, right? So you can see one of the bearings right in there too, on the front of the shaft that goes all the way through. And you can't see the one on the back here because it's behind that gigantic gear. I don't know what gear I've selected there, but see, there's up, and then I think this one goes over too. I know I can't maneuver it with my hand. This probably goes up too. Nope. That's the gear shifter anyways. It should just go right in there. So that was oh no, we gotta have bolts in it, I guess, to hold it. I don't know if that went in or not. No, I won't worry about that too much. But anyways, it's probably good to spin this a bit and get some of that lube flapping around. Ow, that hurt. Those are sharp. Those are very sharp. Pretty cool, all that works together. But anyways, should be dry on this side here, which looks like it is. I think it's okay. And of course, wet back here, and then wet in the rear end. They kind of all share the one thing, right? So Oh man, I really chopped myself good. Huh. That's not good. Sharper than I thought. Let's put my hand in here again and cut it again. There. That should be neutral there. I think. Yeah, it should be. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? Oh man, but what a lot of work I got to do, because I'm going to have to... technically, what I want to do is just hook it on and make sure that it works. And then I have to probably take it off again, cover up all these holes with something, tape even, or something maybe more secure. I've got this shifter I could bolt back on, but I've only got the one cover. They wanted to keep this one off of this one, because he says, oh, those things are hard to come by now. We want to keep that. I'm like, well, that's fine. I've got the other one I can use. So anyways, and then up here is where your steering mounts to. Is this hole up here. That's where your steering stuff all goes. So steering, shifter, and then your seat, and then your lift cylinder and all that stuff's in underneath the seat. It's heavy, that piece. There's a big long rod that has to go down somewhere, and I can't remember where on that thing. It's a big giant long rod. But basically what I need to do is first I guess get this thing kind of in the air, lift it up, and get the drain plugs out and try to flush all this crappy oily stuff out, because I don't know how long it's been in there. It's probably sat in his yard there for like 30 years, you know, in a piece, right? But overall, geez, it looks like it'll do. But once I do have it up, though, I'd like to actually give it a pressure wash, and I should be able to blast off most of this crap, and that'll save me a lot of cleaning, right? I'd really rather not have to sandblast this thing, you know, right down to the bare. That's if I didn't have to, but maybe we have to. Water's a lot easier to get out of stuff than sand is, though. Yes and no, but yes, it is usually a lot easier to get out. So, ooh, that thing really chopped me open. That thing was sharp. Anyways, so yeah, fun stuff. I see there's a bit of a bend in the rod here for the brakes, I guess. I don't know if that's gonna be a problem or not. I could probably use the other one too if I had to. I do see some oil underneath there, which is probably likely one of the plugs is maybe leaking a little bit, but at least my wood won't rust, right? But yeah, I'm gonna have to get this guy lifted up. I'm not 100% sure what or how I'm gonna do that. I've got lifting straps and stuff, but I'd like to get it suspended in the air where I can get to the plugs and, you know, have it somewhat level too, right, where it'll drain out. But I know I got the machine to do it, that's for sure, but when's the time to do it? That's the other problem, right? So, but I thought I'd just show you this, and I wish I really knew what year it was, but there's no real way of knowing. Don't think these really come with serial numbers, you know, that matched, we'll say, but I think it should work out pretty good. But oh, there's a gigantic bearing back there too. Look at the size of that one. Oh. Those things should last forever, you would think. But fairly beefy. Like even the bolts back there are pretty huge going into that casing. It's pretty neat, you know. It's pretty neat. Gigantic freaking gears back there, huge. Which means there's probably a gigantic, huge pinion on the front of this thing too here. But I guess that's kind of cycles, so with that hole open there kind of thing, it kind of cycles the fluid around. Once you're driving, it'll splash around and come down in here and then cycle all around and stuff, right? So that's pretty cool. But I got to figure out too, like, the best way to lift this. Be my straps, I would guess, and then maybe to a bar or something going through. I put a strap around here maybe, and then maybe a strap around there. Hopefully it's not too heavy with all this extra on the back. As long as I can get them kind of the same, it should lift out pretty good. We had a where we loaded it though. Those guys don't really know what they're doing for strapping and stuff, but anyways, yeah, so I just want to show you that. Probably get at this soonish. Try to get her out of my trailer here at least and get her cleaned up, and we can get what we gotta do. So thing is, right now I just don't really have room up here either. I mean, I got my 800 in there, there's the mower and stuff in that one, and the 2N there, which actually might end up going over to the neighbor's yard there with a big for sale sign on it. Maybe get rid of that one. Don't really need it. It was just, you know, fun little project to work on and stuff, but really don't need it. It's got no sentimental to me. This guy here, I put a bit more into him, although I did put a lot into that 2N as well. We worked on that for quite a while. But this one, you know, we've done a painting on it and stuff, and redid the engine, and yeah. So, and anyways, I guess we'll button this back up here for now, and we'll get her off one day soon here. And I'd like to, like I say, figure out, I could just put the cover back on here, but then this one, I guess I could put the cover off Boris on it too while it's, you know, getting washed, so at least maybe not get so much water inside. I don't necessarily really have to hit up around the lip here. It's all mostly down underneath anyways, right? But once I get the oil out of it and stuff, I can maybe string it up by the rears there and just pick the whole thing up. It should be strong enough to hold itself there without falling apart. And then I give the belly a good wash, because it's sat, like I say, it sat in over on his ground over there for a lot of years too, right? So, but we got to get it up level. Juicer, bud, just get on her. We got to get her up level, at least get the oil to come out in the air so I can get under it and, you know, get the plugs out, whatever. I have to find the plugs and get the plugs out. They're probably going to be pretty scrimmed in there, so. But anyways, that's the big project. Oh, I got to figure out this too. I have to get this bolt out of here. I've got the ones from Boris I can just reuse. And yeah, hopefully everything else is all good, but definitely had some paint, eh? Man, my pressure washer, it might get a lot of that off, but really it should have a good sandblast. But I really don't want to get all that sand and stuff contaminated on the inside, right? Because once sand hits oil, it's almost impossible to get that out again. So I'll have to go at it with some scrapers maybe, and she might be a winter project. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I can really get you guys onto this project with me a whole lot, because I'll probably do it in my other garage where I'm not allowed to take you, so, and that sucks. But down there at least I got a nice concrete floor and I can roll things around, and you know, it'll be a little bit better for that, I think. But anyways, we'll keep you updated on things. I just want to see how much scraping this is gonna maybe require. Oh, maybe not too bad. That pressure washer will blow a lot of that off, especially if I put the big zero nozzle on that. It'll really scream that off good, I think. Okay. And hopefully there's no studs busted on here, because, you know, I really don't want to have to do that. But you can see the yellow there. It's actually pretty good still. And the brakes seem good. I don't know how well the seals are on it, but, you know, if we have to, we can take a tire off again and pull the drum off. I'd like to actually hook it up first, but oh, I really think this is really leaked a whole lot under there now. I see that. Can't really tell under there, but yeah, I better get this thing up soon and get her figured out. But anyways, I guess that's it for today. Maybe we'll just take these off. I don't really need these on now. Ooh, that's some good tension onto her. Nice. Super nice. Nope. Okay. That's pretty good. And I think I'll leave that off for now. I'll just wrap her back up here. Wrap her back up for now. Seemed to keep all that rain out of there. The plywood made a big difference, I think. Oh, there's a bee right there too. Are they trying to sleep in my tarp here or something? Not so sure I like that, because they sting. right now. How did I have this? I remember why I had this piece in there. I had it in there for some reason. Kind of wedged in. I just don't remember why now. Maybe I won't use that part. We'll need these though to make. Oh, that's what it was for. Plywood. That's there. Oh man, plywood's heavy when it's a whole sheet. Okay, well, we'll do this then. We'll just do this and this. Maybe we'll take this right over then. Make like a little roof thing, right? So the water will run right off nice. Put a little bit of beefed up to it. Where's the other little piece here? That's good. And then the other roof piece. And then the water will hit that and it's just gone. But there, roof. So this will drip down here and off, and this will drip here and then down and off. Nice. Well, I just want to show you that, and hopefully it's going to all work, but I got a lot of work ahead there, and cleaning and stuff, and lifting, and draining oil, and more cleaning, and I'd like to pressure wash it. At least I can get that inside, and if it's going to work, that's good. And not have any problems and still drive, that'd be even better. But there we go. Anyways, that's it. Thanks again for watching. Catch you all later. You guys have a good day. This will be coming up soon here whenever I get everything else caught up. Man, oh man, never ends.